Hi guys, welcome back to another session of the beginner lessons in Maxon and 4D. So over the weekend, I posted a work on my social media and I thought of making a tutorial of it so that you guys will be able to try your hands on what I did so far. So this was the work that I posted, and then we are going to look at a very simple and easy way of coming up with something like this. So yeah, let's get into the tutorial session. So we are first of all going to create this shape, the initial stage of it, with a sphere. And for us to get to create the sphere, we'll go to the right hand side of the screen, this panel right here, and look for where the cube is. And then with the arrow pointing down here, which means there are other options. So we'll click and hold and go for a sphere. When we click on that, we get the sphere inside our scene. And the sphere looks rough on the edges, so we are going to increase the segment from 16 to, let's say, 50. Then from now the sphere looks smooth, and the next step is to make it editable, which is see on the keyboard or this icon right here. We click on it and now the sphere looks editable. We can edit on the edges, we can edit on the face or polygon, and then we can edit on the point. But today I think we are going to do a lot more of edge, so we'll just put it at edge for now. Then the sphere is very big, so we have to scale it down. Go to model mode, then to scale to, click on it, and then scale it down. Now the next thing we are going to do is delete some of the edges so that we can extrude this part and the base, the cylinders you see at the top and the base. So we'll go into our quad view. We click on this icon here to go into the quad view, and then we are using the front face, so we are going to go inside this view, the front view as well. Now we want to delete the edges like I said, so we'll go for our rectangular selection and then click and drag over this face. Then also do same for this part. And the shape doesn't look all spherical. It looks a bit oval. So we would like to scale it in the y axis. So we go to model mode, then to scale, then we scale it down, and then also probably go this to the z axis and scale it in this direction a bit. And that's I think that is okay. Now we'll go into our quad perspective view. Looks a bit rough, so just play with the scaling options to see if it is okay. Then we'll go to the edge mode again, zoom in and double click, and then when we get the selection like this, we can now go for our move to, hit on control and then drag to the top. Then so I will undo and then delete that sphere. Double click on this part, then control drag in, then extrude. Control click and hold to extrude. Then we'll do same for the base. Select this part, double click, then extrude. Now the next thing to do is to close the space at the bottom. Obviously the top will be hollow or opened. So we right click on our mouse, then we go for this option here, close polygon hole, which has a shortcut of MD. So we click on it, then hover on the selected area, the edge selected area, and we see there is a highlight over there. Whenever you see that, then you can click. Now when you click, this is what you are going to get, but in the attributes panel, usually the options are always on basic. I've already used it, that is why you saw it in patch. So when it's in basic, this is what you see. The base wouldn't have subdivisions. So we'll go and then click on patch so that we can have, okay, this is what we are going to do first. We'll undo and then click with the edge still selected. We'll go for the scale tool, control click and drag, and the next thing is to close that hole. So go back for the close polygon hole and then click on it. Then we use the patch to patch it up. Now we have to make a depth for this. So the next thing to do is to, yeah, first of all, let's check if when we put this into a subdivision, it's going to look okay with the base. So control alt click with the sphere object selected in the object panel. You alt click and click on subdivision surface. Then when you click, it makes it a child. So it really smoothens it out, which is nice, but then it is not all that smooth from the image, rendered image. So we'll work on that later on. But then with the alt click and drag option, it works for everything under the subdivision, even almost a lot of things on this panel. It works for that. It's when you click on that, it makes the object a child as and when it comes in. But you yourself can also click on it, make the subdivision, then now drag, and then when you see the arrow pointing down, you leave it, and now the subdivision has taken place. When you go to model mode, this is what you will see. But then we don't need the subdivision to, for now, we need to thicken the pot. So the next thing to do is to give it a depth or thickness. Yeah, thickness. So we'll click on and select everything. Double click to select, or go to selection and look for select all. So if initially it was not selected, but then the object was selected in the objects panel, you go to select on your menu, then look for select all, then everything everything is selected. Now the next thing is to extrude the pot. From the last tutorial, we looked at several ways of doing extrusion, but this time around we are going to use the extrude tool. So on your left side, the tools, from here we have extrude, which comes with the shortcut underneath it in the description. But you select it. Now this is what you would do: click, hold, and drag, and give it an extrusion. So ordinarily, if you extrude, if you go for the extrude option, this is checked off. So look at what happens. If your own happens like that on your machine, this is why. When you extrude, you will see that you get this. So you need to check the create curves before you get the thickness. Now with this done, we have to check the subdivision on. Sorry. With the subdivision on, this is what we get. The shape looking this way. So we have to uncheck the subdivision and then add some polygon faces. We do some cuts on the pot so that when we turn on the subdivision, it wouldn't look like how it was initial, like right now. Now we do go for right click, then go for loop cuts or loop slash path cut. We click on it, we make a cut on the top which was looking funny, this side and that side. Then make another cut here, and then for the base, we'll make one here and also make one here. Now let's see, then another one here. Let's see what happens at the top. This is what we have. Go to polygon mode. This is what we have, and then I think it looks okay. With the subdivision, you can increase the subdivision viewport. The highest I will always advise that the highest you can go or you should go is like 3, because when you add more, your machine begins to mess up with the intense subdivisions added to it. To smoothen things out a bit more, we just go to like 3, and then this is what we have. Now we are adding something else to the lesson today by using a deformer. And there are so many deformers inside the software, and when the name goes, how the name goes, it gives you deformations which adds to the beauty of your work. So basically, for you to create deformers, you go to create, and when you come to deformers, we have a lot of deformers, but we are looking at shapes. And then the first option, which is bend, that is what we are looking at. So this is what we are going to use to create the handle of the pots, these ones. Now we will hide this work in our viewport. Then go to our primitives again and go for cylinder. We click on it, then reduce the size, and still reduce it again. Now with this one, we'll go and turn on the display, which is grass shading lines. Then the bend, the the deformers can also be found on this list of tools here. So if we go to this option, you will see, so usually the last one you used from the list here is what will display on the thumbnail or on as an icon here. So the bend is the first one. So we'll go for bend and then keep it as that. Then make, this time around, make the bend a child of the cylinder. Now, nothing seems to be happening because the bend is very big. So the thing we'll do is we'll go to our attributes panel and go and fit to parent. So we are telling it to fit to the parent, which is the cylinder. So we'll click on fit to parent, and this is what happens. Now it is fitting to the cylinder. Now for you to bend, you go for the strength, you increase the strength here so that you'll be able to bend. If we try and bend, this is what is happening. It has hard edges. So we'll do like 180 degrees. And now the thing is, the deformers usually can work even when the main object is not editable. The only thing you have to get is enough subdivisions or polygon faces to work with. Now, because we don't have enough numbers or count on the height segment, which is 4, it is looking like this. So the moment we add enough to it, let's say like 50, now it is well smoothed out and then it looks good. So this is how we are going to create the handle of the what we call it, the pot. So the next thing we are going to do is to rotate everything we have done here so that it will look in the direction of the pot. So we'll go for the rotation tool, which is R on the keyboard. Then now rotate it. We hold on shift so that it will snap. So we are doing a 90-degree rotation. Then this is done. So the next thing is to bring back our pot and then hide the grass shading lines. So this is what we have. The handle is very big. We need to position it first before we can do a reduction in size. So we'll drag it over here. Now this place, okay, it looks okay with the positioning. So we will go and then decrease the size, then drag it up, and then drag it again. It still looks bigger. Then the next thing is put it there. Now we have to create another one for the other side, which I feel like if we do a copy and now we are now going to rotate, it will be a lot of work. So the thing we can do is group this and merge it, but then we will make a copy. The merging will make a copy so that we can still come back to the initial stage. So we'll click, right click, then go for connect objects. Now the next one beneath it is connect objects plus delete. This one will make a merge copy and we'll still have the initial stage there. And this one would merge everything, and then it makes it as one, and we wouldn't have the initial stage. So we want to keep the initial stage so that if there is any mistake, we can go back to. So we'll go and connect objects. Then now we have this. So apparently we have two. We have to hide the initial one. Then use this one. The axis point for this is not in the middle. We want it in the middle. So we will go to tools on the menu and look for axis. Then we will go and click on axis center. And then the next thing is click on execute. Now it has brought it into the middle for us. Then for us to make the copy, we will go into our generators, click and hold, and then look for symmetry. This object, this option. Then click on it. Now we'll make the cylinder a child of it. And then we have the other side attached to it. There is options for the object in the attributes panel, but when we clicked on it, the part which we wanted has been done. So usually sometimes these things might be off. So you have to click on the Y and the Z to enable them before it can come to the position you want for you. So you have to do all these things, but luckily for us, immediately we dropped it as a child, it gave us the other side. So we are good to go. Now, with all this done, I think we are done with the ports. So the next thing we are going to look at is put everything together. We want to group it. The last time we said when you want to group, the first option on these tools, which is called null, is for grouping. So you click on it, then you copy everything minus this, drop it inside it, and now it is grouped. So if you click on this and you decide to move, it moves everything. But that is not what we want to do. We want to merge it in creating a merged copy. So like the other option, click, look for create, connect objects. Now we'll hide this one as well. So right now, everything in here is merged. Now we have a lot of polygon faces. And that is that for this part. So the next thing to look at is creating the scene, which is very simple. This is a cube. The background is a plane, and the blurred thing here, I will do that as well. So we are looking at this first one, putting it on the cube and then giving it a plane as a background. So we'll bring in a cube from the primitive shape, just click on it, and then the cube is very big. We'll just reduce the size and then scale it on the Y like that. Now the next thing to do is position soften the edges of the cube. So from the attributes, with the cube selected, from the attributes panel of the cube, we have this option here, fillet. The moment you click on it, the edges is smoothened out, and this is exactly what we want, nothing else. Then I'll go for, let me rename this pot. I'll go for the pot, select the pot and place it on the cube. So when I go for the place to, let me undo, the place to, which is here, click on it, then left click and hold, then place it. Now, let me go into the quad view and see from the top what is happening. I think this is okay. The next thing to do is to have the plane at the background. So create a very big plane and then change the orientation. Yes. So the orientation, I changed it to +Z, and then now take it to the back and then make it big to the back again. Then the next thing to create is to create another plane. Right click and drag. We are now going to turn on the display brush shading lines to see the number of planes we have, the segments we have for the plane. I think this is okay, but the one at the back, we are going to change all the segments to one so that we don't have a lot of subdivisions, although there are a lot already. So we'll just change this one. Then look for an option called atom rays in the generator. This option, atom ray, click on it and then make that one to a child. Make the plane a child, the plane at the front a child. Now we have this like a mesh. So we can play along with the attributes, the options in the attributes panel. Even try to increase the subdivisions so that the sphere in the middle doesn't look rough. So I will make it small so that it will be like, I think I did this one 4. I'm not too sure, but I think I did the number 4 for each section. Then cylinder, I'll increase it and as well increase this one as well. Then try as much as possible to bring it to the front. Select everything. And then now we can start introducing cameras and materials. So the next thing we are going to do is, today we are working with Octane renderer. So we are going to make an Octane render camera first of all. So we go for the option at the top, Octane option on the menu, click on it, and now wait. So this is the render viewport for Octane. We can dock it on the left side. Now go to objects, go to objects and create Octane camera. Click on it, and now we have the camera inside here. We are looking outside the camera. So now we want to look inside the camera. And for you to look inside the camera, you need to click on this option here, this squared here. You click on it, now we are looking inside the camera. So this is how so it is now time for us to actually position the camera in a way that we want it. And I would also want to change the camera focal length. So in the attributes panel, I'll go to focal length and change it to tele. Then zoom out. Let me do away with the grad shading lines. First of all, let me close this. This is happening because we've not also set, what do we call it, a preset, or yes, a viewport settings is not done to what we initially, the shape we have here. This is a portrait kind of view, so we need to set it. So in the render settings, come and click on the output and then look for presets. If you already know the number in which you want to render in, that is fine. So click on the presets, and now go, I will prefer portrait, then I'll go for E4. Then try to position my port, and then this one as well. I think this is okay. Now with the texturing, we are going to use Grayscale Gorilla Studio plugin. So we'll go and then click on it. This is the texture that I use, this one, and then this one. Then we'll go back and drop the textures to what they have to, allocate the textures here to the objects they have to be on. So with the wood, you can't see the from this preview, but when you double click on it, you are seeing it here. So with the wood, we are going to drop it on the cube, and this is what we are going to get. It is glossy, so we have to find a way of reducing the glossiness. Yes, we reduce the glossiness. Then yeah, there is a material for this one, so I'll go back and look for it. I think it was this. I'll click and drag it on it. Then the last one will be for this one. This is the wood, the terrazzo. So we are going to drop the terrazzo material on the pot. Now this is what we have. It looks very awful, so we have to play around the projection on the attributes panel to see which one will best fit. For me, I think that the cubic actually works. I don't know, but then I think it works. Let me go. Right, so now let's go into our camera and then give the background a color. So we are going to use a normal Octane material, diffuse material, this one. Click on it and then make a dark color and just drop it on it. The light setup was just one.